This is He Knows Everything, bringing you that heat. Now, far. Got my boy Tom Ross TV in the building. Tom Ross, what's up, man?
So man, Tom Ross TV still separating a week from the strong. We got some hot topics for you guys.
Yes, sir. First things up. First things first, because we gotta talk about this shit. Errol Spence, man. Um, it's interesting that Errol Spence came out and basically said that 50% of his best, he could beat any of the top welterweights.
And
Obviously, that includes the young pup Jerron Boots Ennis. I mean, Earl the True Spence just really need to be 25 fucking percent to beat his ass. That motherfucker's so overrated. They overrate his power. They overrate his ability. They overrate the way he moves. Spencer chopped that motherfucker down, man, and beat the living shit out of him, man. That's just my opinion on that. So, Ross,
yeah,
what's your take on Errol Spence coming out in this timely move? Because I thought that was ingenious and calculated for him to say that at that moment.
I mean, one thing I like about him is right, wrong, or different. He always just speak from the heart. You know what I'm saying? And he always speaks from the heart. So, and that's gonna move you no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
And so I liked it. I liked it because he's proven it. He wasn't his best when he fought Sean Porter. He didn't look his body wise wasn't the best when he fought Mikey Garcia. He was just coming off injury when he fought Danny Garcia, and he whooped all those guys. So that's the thing. What people not understanding is this. What people not understanding. He might. I expect this to be a good fight because Ugas is no slouch. But this is the greatness of Errol Spence. Don't be surprised if Errol Spence stopped Ugas because we haven't seen him look this healthy in a while, and he's some time removed from that injury, and he's look nice, and he's not just super shredded and ripped. It's bulky. You know what I'm saying? It's healthy. It's hydrated on him. And did you hear how he was hitting the pads? Man, like man, I got up and I was doing this. You know what I mean? As he was hitting the pass, I was shadow boxing. That shit had me hyped. I'm
Damn,
like, bro,
he got the goosebumps coming out of you.
yeah, man, it should get me hyped because um I know this fight is gonna be cerebral. It's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be some fireworks, and it's gonna be the motherfuckers gonna get dropped in this fight.
Yep.
Straight up,
Yep.
motherfuckers gonna get dropped. I see because man, they both like to go forward.
Mm-hmm.
They both like to go forward. They both got power. Well, Errol Spencer got more power than him. They both like to go forward, and they don't. And they both are body build. They both are diggers to the body. So it's gonna be times when they're in the pocket, just thumping.
Yep.
Man, this is gonna be a good fight. But the takeaway I got from that interview, they had nothing to do with that. It was the end of the interview when they tried to get Errol Spence to say some fuck shit about Deontay Wilder, and he's like, "Man, y'all always on this goofy shit." And he just walked up. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, I'm done talking to you. You know what I mean? They tried to make him say some. That's one thing about Errol Spence. He always keep it loyal to his people. Always. I can't hear you. I think you I think your mic got silenced or something.
Okay.
Actually,
What it reveals is that Earl Spence, like I've been telling everybody, if they was fucking listening and paying attention, he was the true face of boxing. I told you motherfuckers this shit. Y'all wouldn't listen. Deontay Wilder was never the face of boxing. Look who's coming to Deontay Wilder's defense. The true face of boxing. Earl, the truth, Spence. That's why they call him the truth. Because there's no lies in his damn fist. Freddie Rose said that. And then you
mm-hmm.
had Richard Schaefer said we left the Mayweather era and we ushered into the Spence era. He didn't say we ushered into a Wilder era. We ushered into a Canelo era. We ushered into the Spence era. You motherfuckers need to get that shit through your ears.
20 years ago, well, let's be honest. Wilder is one of the faces of boxing. Because let's just be honest about that. He's one of the faces, but he's not the face. But 20 years ago, he would have been the face of boxing. But after Mayweather changed it. Boxing is now it's a welterweight thing.
Yep.
And everybody else,
I agree with your assessment.
Everybody else pales to that.
I agree with your assessment if it was 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But like you've always said before, coulda, woulda, shoulda. I mean, it ain't 20 years ago. We looking at realities now.
Yeah.
And what Floyd has done is the equivalent of what Michael Jordan has done. Michael Jordan made you forget the big man fucking existed. Floyd made you forget the heavyweight fucking existed. And through Floyd's superstardom and his ability and his impact, that's why Richard Schaefer, an astute Swedish businessman who's handled financial wherewithals and affairs at the highest levels. You've done the research on this guy's financial ledger and the type of money he's had and commanded under his budget. This guy does not lose, man. He's the reason why Golden Boy Promotions was highly successful. But look at when Floyd and Leonard Ellaby talked heavily and highly about Richard Schaefer, because they knew they had a financial guy that had all his shit together. And Richard Schaefer is the reason why Golden Boy Promotion was successful, because he understood matchmaking, but he understood errors of fighters. And that's why he infamously said in the Mikey Garcia fight, after the Mikey Garcia fight, when he basically shook Errol the Truth Spence's hand, Floyd co-signed it because Floyd was right there saying yes. Because he called Errol the Truth Spence after the end of the fight. They had a long fucking talk. And Richard Schaefer said, we left the Mayweather era and we ushered into the Spence era. He said that vehemently while Canelo was on a tear, supposedly. Mm-hmm. He said it vehemently while Wilder was on a tear, because he could see that those guys, it's not their errors. Their error was Spence. And you know how you could tell when it's somebody's error? Look at the noise and look at the moves that are made. Every time Spence basically surfaces up in the media, every time he surfaces up in public, there's always hoopla about him. Wilder gets hoopla, but he don't get hoopla like Spence. Let's just keep it a buck.
Yeah.
And Wilder has to be actively fighting for him to get hoopla like crazy. Spence will get that shit off of a car crash. Spence will get that shit because niggas want to hate on him. That's
low key, the car crash took him to another level.
It did,
because it made people who didn't know who the fuck he was, they now knew there's a boxer who down there died. Who is this boxer? You know what I'm saying? It's equivalent to what the car crash did to Kanye.
Mm-hmm. But here's the thing:
they both were already talented. They both were the best at what they did, but everybody didn't know who the fuck they was.
But who made that car crash famous? Who made it viral? Just like who made Kanye West's car crash viral? They're haters. These guys are so polarizing. They're haters. Made everybody know who the fuck they were. Because when Errol the Truth Spence had a car crash video, you had niggas showcasing him at the strip club, getting drunk. You had niggas basically showcasing him getting ass shaked in front of his fucking face, like that's not normal. Right. I got ass shaked in front of me on Friday. Tom Ross got ass shaked in front of him on Saturday. You niggas act like you don't get ass and titty shaked in front of you. I mean, what the fuck? What planet do you fucking live on?
Right.
And you could tell the haters made him successful. Just like the haters made Kanye West. You couldn't imagine the haters wanted to say, look at Kanye West. Look at that dude. This is supposed to be a super producer, a rapper of epic proportion. And he goes and gets in a car crash. I remember that time. They said his face looked fat as fuck. I remember being in school, motherfuckers talking that shit. I'm saying Kanye West looking all kinds of waves and shit like that. Looking wayward as fuck. But Kanye pressed through that shit. And then we had that excellent College Dropout album that just dominated like nobody's business. Just like we had Errol the Truth Spence beat the living shit out of Danny Garcia, had him weltering with a black fucking eye. Mm-hmm. If you are true boxing connoisseurs and boxing fans, you would understand the level of beatdown that Errol the True Spence gave Danny Garcia. And Danny Garcia was at his best counter punching wise. And Spence nullified the counter punching with double counter punching. And Spence punished him. Had him with a black eye for over 8 months. But motherfuckers said that was an underwhelming performance. You don't know shit about boxing if you say that. And here's the even caveat of this. Spence proved that at 50%, he's better than all the top welterweights. So 100% Spence washes any fucking welterweight. That's just the bottom line. See, Terrence Crawford is smoking fucking mirrors. They built him up as smoking fucking mirrors. And you guys are going to learn this when Spence fights him. You're going to learn just like they did with Tommy Hitman Hearns. The reason why I liken it to Hagler and Hearns is because it's the same shit. They did this with Tommy Hitman Hearns. They made him seem like he was more than meets the eyes. Transformers, more than meets the eyes. And then what happened? He got into the ring with Hagler. They basically said that Hagler couldn't box. They basically said that Hagler was overrated. And he goes in there and he outboxes Hearns, beats the living shit out of him, stops his ass, and sends him packing in 5 fucking rounds. This is what Spence and fucking Crawford is going to be. And I agree with Ross with Ugas. The reason why I don't disrespect Ugas is because Ugas is already the undisputed fight before the undisputed fight. That's why Ugas said in Spanish, this is an indisputed fight. Yeah, a lot of motherfuckers didn't catch that shit when Ugas said that. He was right. It's an undisputed fight. He just basically said the undisputed word in Spanish. It's an undisputed fight before the undisputed fight. Right. It's the real undisputed fight because Errol the True Spence is already fighting the hardest opponent that you could possibly face. Ugas had Manny Pacquiao mentally retarded. If Ugas would have given Manny Pacquiao more punishment, Manny Pacquiao would have been permanently retarded. This was a guy that was sitting here jarring, mouth all over the place. He's putting food. Here, your food is right here, and his mouth is right there. He was being fed like that by Jinky. That means he had delayed speech. He had mental re-fucking tardation. If Ugas would have landed a few more right-hand leads, Manny Pacquiao would not be in his right fucking mind. They want to tell you he was on Santeria. They want to tell you he was on voodoo. They want to tell you all of this shit that has nothing to do with the sport of boxing. But it reveals to you guys that they're boxing fucking casuals. Because only boxing fucking casuals don't understand the sport. And boxing fucking casuals are not understanding a 2022 Spence is not a 2016 Spence. Stop living in fucking 2016. I'm going to quote Jay-Z. If you want to listen to the old Jay-Z, buy the old Jay-Z albums. If you want to see 2016 Spence, go watch a fucking Chris Algieri video. Go watch a Leonard Bundu video. Go watch him with fucking Kell Brook. Because Errol the True Spence in 2022 is Errol the True Spence in 2022. Get it through your thick fucking heads. He's the 2022 version. And if the 2022 version bulldozes and steamroses through fucking Ugas, so fucking be it. But the 2022 version of Errol the True Spence is fighting the most elite opponents at the welterweight division. So you boxing casuals cannot expect for Errol the True Spence to be stopping every motherfucker.
You can't walk through everybody.
You can't walk through everybody, especially with the performance that Ugas had against Manny Pacquiao. You have to understand what that did to his confidence. If Ugas already had confidence on 100,000 trillion, shout outs to Kanye West, that shit was so lethal.
Yeah.
Then his swagger is on 100,000 gajillion.
Right.
Because the reason why it's on 100,000 gajillion is because he properly retired a legend in Manny fucking Pacquiao. And if you guys are true boxing fans, you would understand what that did to his corpus callosum, what that did to his cerebellum, what it did to his medulla oblongata. That's why he's so confident in how he feels he's going to fight against Errol the True Spence. It's because he properly retired a legend. Now, Spence would have killed Manny fucking Pacquiao. Let's just keep it a buck. But your Dennis Ugas is feeling himself.
I believe Manny Pacquiao would have got carried out on the stretcher.
Yes. I absolutely agree with that too.
Because that Spence had already came to the conclusion that no more breaks for me, no more gaining a lot of weight. That Spence was walking around at 170, 165 pounds. You know what I'm saying? That Spence came in there in the best shape of his life, he would have punished Manny Pacquiao ass, man.
That Manny Pacquiao would have died in the damn ring.
He'd have punished Manny Pacquiao.
That whole feeding with Jinky would have been times 10.
He'd have been laying in the bed. He'd have been laying in the bed getting fed. This is what people don't understand. The best thing in the world for Mikey Garcia was a Spence who didn't take him seriously. Best thing in the world that happened to him. If Spence would have came in that bitch as brolic as he could come into a fight, as rehydrated and as strong, he would have put him in the hospital, man. I don't care what nobody say. Mikey Garcia was gone off the boxing scene for a whole fucking month.
Yep.
And you know he always doing interviews talking about black fighters. We ain't here for that nigga for a whole month. A whole month.
Yep.
You know what that means? That means that nigga, he was somewhere laid the fuck up.
Yep.
Trying to recuperate. And he didn't even get the best Spence. Sean Porter didn't get the best Spence. And damn near it got dropped.
Yep.
It's gonna be hell to pay now. Spence is 100% locked in. And his body is coming in. He's getting better. His body getting more healthier and recovering.
Yep. And it's time to get on Sean Porter because Sean Porter basically has amnesia. He act like Ugas didn't beat him, and then he's turning around and basically saying, well, looking at Ugas, especially after Manny Pacquiao, I rate him over Spence. It's just, when you say that, you hot and bothered like grits.
You got to understand one thing. You saying that, you basically saying you trash.
Yep.
So you rate him over a Spence because he beat Manny Pacquiao, but Spence beat you. Or you beat this guy. How you rate somebody that you beat over somebody? That's why I tell you, man. I don't honor or respect boxing media, bro.
Yep.
It don't be making no sense.
Yep.
Niggas just be talking, man. Same niggas just be saying shit like, I know this ain't about Floyd, but I'm just making a point.
Go ahead.
Niggas be saying Floyd beat Pacquiao, but Pacquiao greater. How are you greater than somebody who's greater than you already, and he beat you?
Yep.
Yeah, because he got 8 belts. He had 8 belts. I'd be like, name the champions that he beat for those belts. And niggas be struggling to name them. Why? Because they nobodies, man.
Yep.
They were vacant belts. There was half the majority of those belts he won. They weren't even from legitimate champions. They were vacant. That shit don't. Anybody could run through belts like that. Anybody could do that, or fighting, or doing what Canelo do, fighting the weakest guy, go to a weight class and fight a Rocky Fielding. If niggas doing that, they can run through belts all day. They can run through belts all day. They doing that. At least when Floyd went to 154, he fought De La Hoya, he fought Canelo, he fought Cotto. Those are legit champions. He ain't fighting nobody that was a nobody that we had to suffer through a fight. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about Spence. Spence is giving us fights, man. And he's still getting hated on by the boxing community. Why? Because at the end of the day, even black people hate successful black fighters. Every time you turn around, the LGBT got something to say about PBC fighters, bro. They only like one. And that's just because he gave them some interviews. But when he asked me, I've been watching boxing a long time. That fight was not supposed to be a sanctioned fight with those gloves. They haven't said nothing about Wilder since, man. They fake, man. They fake. And now I think Wilder needs to get smart because his team ain't no good team. His team wasn't supposed to allow that fight to happen. Because he would never have to have that fight if he was with Floyd. Floyd, they already tried to do that to Floyd. Floyd would have said no fight. Nah. Hell no. Look at these gloves, man. The gloves like they was worn before. Gloves supposed to look perfect when you get ready to fight. It's supposed to be perfect, man. I say all that shit to say Errol Spence, he giving us the fights, and he Errol Spence should be getting more praise. He should be getting more acclaim, especially from the black community fan bases. But he don't, because we like to hate on our own people, man. The only reason why they like Bud, because Bud walking around with his head down, whispering, you know what I mean, saying stupid shit, saying shit like, man, I just fight for the legacy, I don't fight for the money. Bro, that shit is not real. All that shit is fake. That's cap. It's called prize fighting. If they was fighting for free, niggas wouldn't be fighting there. They fight for the money. And it's okay to fight for money. You're supposed to fight for money. That's real legacy. Your capital, the shit you own is your legacy, not a belt. You know what I'm saying? But they got black niggas, they like the black niggas that say the stupid shit like, I don't fight for money, man. I just fight for the pride. You getting brain damage for the pride, nigga? Okay, every time you go in that ring, you suffer. You gonna suffer. You getting some brain damage because your head wasn't created to get hit like that. So you getting brain damage every time you get in that ring. You doing that for free? You saying you won't do it for the money? You're a fucking liar, man. I hate when they be capping like that. That should be blowing me, man. Just be honest. But they say that shit because they know that's what other people want to hear. And because they know if you fight it for the money, you gonna make better business decisions. So they don't want you making business decisions. They want you going there fighting where the fuck they put you in there with. Horsehair gloves have creases. No, the fuck they don't. And you're not supposed to use horsehair. Salute the King Styles. Donate to motivate. Donate to motivate. And no gloves supposed to have creases before a fight. We're not going to make excuses. He took the fight. He lost the fight. He was very competitive. He didn't get beat up. He knocked the man down twice. He went out like a soldier. But at the end of the day, that fight shouldn't be sanctioned. Is Tank focused on Floyd, or is that what they saying?
Exactly.
I haven't heard Tank say nothing out of his mouth. I heard the LGBT talking for Tank. So is it you got it? This is what the media does to Kanye, and what they do for Kim. You know how they always say Kim believes this, but you never hear Kim say anything, or Kanye did this, but it's the opposite of what Kanye actually said out his mouth. That's what the LGBT does. They just make shit up.
I'm glad you said all of those points, Ross, because Gervonta Tank Davis has not come out and said that he's leaving Mayweather Promotions, but the LDBC were waiting for something like this. You could tell because they've been hot and bothered like grits since Leonard Ellaby G-checked one of their biggest beta males in Blue Blood Sports TV. So they were hot and bothered like grits. You have barbershop conversations, all these types of individuals that lost their accreditations, no longer could cover fights and shit like that. Hot and bothered like grits about PBC, asking random and stupid questions if PBC's testing their fighters. And I mean, just asking dumb shit. And what it reveals to you is the house Negro mindset. House Negroes always snitch on field niggas, man. Let me say it again. House niggas always snitch on field niggas.
Yep.
That's what happened with Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is a house Negro. They love the humility of the house Negro. See, when you see people root for a certain person, it speaks to their personality. Since they root for house niggas, they're fucking house niggas. That's the reality of it. Errol Spence is a field nigga. Floyd is a field nigga. These field niggas don't play. And see, what people got to understand is Gervonta Tank Davis, his contract is up. And what people got to understand is nothing lasts forever. Now, Gervonta Tank Davis is in a position he wants bigger fights. He wants to basically have his name in the ranks with everyone else. And he's well within his right to have that shit. But at the end of the day, Gervonta Tank Davis is not sitting here and diss-ragging Mayweather Promotions. And Mayweather Promotions is not diss-ragging him. They're having something that boxers always have with promotions. Their contracts come up.
Negotiations, man.
Negotiations.
How is that even news?
You clowns were waiting. You clowns were waiting for two black men to give you a similitude as if they're at odds. You're making narratives up. There's no odds here. Gervonta Tank Davis wants certain things in negotiation, and the Mayweather promotions want certain things in negotiations. You motherfuckers never had wore the business hat. You don't understand anything about business. I know a lot about fucking business. You motherfuckers are just talkers, and you go off of chong cockroach shit that motherfuckers that don't even understand the word business. They can't even spell business. I guarantee you right now, if you ask all these motherfuckers to spell the word business, they couldn't even spell that shit to you. They probably spell it with a fucking Z instead of an S. And they got the nerve to sit here and act like these two black men have problems. Well, the problem is you. The problem is your mindset. The problem is you don't want to see your own people be in solidarity and unity. You want to see them divide and conquer. This is why you're listening to new media, which is worse than old media. We might as well just have old media back, because new media has proven that they're 100 times garbage, way more fucking garbage than old media.
New media does the same shit the old media do, except they just black. They do the same thing. The only nigga I respect, I don't even think he claimed new media. The only nigga I respect on that way, OG, is Dante Boxing Nation and Champ Side. But other than that, I don't respect none of them niggas like that, because at least with them, they have a social consciousness about what they say. The rest of those cats, man, they be focused on niggas' abs and they V's and shit. They be talking about, you know what I mean, the shit that ain't got nothing to do with boxing. They be trying to stir up hate and discontent. The LDBC been trying to stir up hate and discontent between Tank and Mayweather for the longest. They did it with Floyd and Wilder. They got Wilder to bite. They've been trying to do it with Tank and Floyd for the longest, trying to break them up. Why? Even if that shit was true, why you got to put it out on your platform? It's called a code. I don't put out bad news about black fighters I respect, so I ain't got no choice. Then I put it out like, damn, man. You know what I mean? Because now, if I don't do it now, I ain't respectable. I ain't doing too much now, you know what I'm saying? But I think my water here.
I'm glad you said that shit, because when you look at new media, Dante's Boxing Nation is his own conglomerate. He's his own entity. Shit, he has an underling in Aki TV. And I said this to Tom Ross behind the scenes. I'm telling you this right now. He's going to betray Dante's Boxing Nation, just like that other coon buffoon, Showbiz the Adult, did the same thing. Dante's Boxing Nation is a genuine cat, and genuine people like that, they do get betrayed by underlings. It is what it is. And I'm telling you this right now. I'm putting it on wax so you motherfuckers listen and pay attention. It's coming. That betrayal is going to fucking come, because the LDBC are filled with a bunch of disgruntled men that wanted to be celebrities. They wanted to be successful men in their own lives, and they've fallen very fucking short of the shit. So they're mad at the actual celebrities that have put in the work to be fucking celebrities. This is what it goes down to. When you pay attention to it, you ask yourself where this hate is coming from and where all of this protrusion is coming from. Is these motherfuckers will sell their soul. They will become spineless to be in the position that these other people are in.
Right.
This is why Deontay Wilder, and I'm glad Ross brought it up, you motherfuckers never asked the question, why have they stopped talking about Deontay Wilder? It's because they never gave two flying fucks about Deontay Wilder in the first place. And I've been saying this for months. If y'all was paying attention, they didn't give a shit about him. That's why I was mad at Deontay Wilder. That's why I turned the cheek. That's why I turned the other way against Deontay Wilder, because I saw he made an erroneous decision. All he had to do is stay up on the Al Heyman, stay up under the Floyd Mayweathers of the world, and he wouldn't have been in this position. These same motherfuckers that were getting interviews and all of that, they betrayed him. They turned their backs against him. Why? Because he lost. And they can't stand behind a loser. They're letting you know that blatantly. By not talking about him and not covering him, they're letting you know they can't stand behind a loser. Let Devin Haney lose. Go see how much more worse they treat him. And then you're going to have some of those motherfuckers in that sect that are hot and bothered like grits insecure and miserable as you know what in their lives. They're going to turn around and say, we knew Devin Haney wasn't shit. We knew he wasn't overrated. They're going to tell you their true feelings about Devin Haney. And we've heard some LDBC members in the sect talk about Deontay Wilder needs to work on his boxing ability. They've then started saying, where did all this shit come from? You see, this is what people need to understand. When they found somebody that they could use for revenue, for cash apps, for super chats, they basically pimped him. And Deontay Wilder has to be, that's why I said that Negro's missing a few fucking screws himself, because he didn't realize that he got fucking pimped off of super chats and cash apps. Somebody in the comment section said that.
Yeah, well, he didn't know. He thought he was really being supported. And a lot of genuine people, they go through this because they're genuine. They believe everybody, they take everything at face value, but it's not at face value, man. You have to know you in a cricket business. The only business I think is more cricket than boxing is the music business, man. They probably equally as cricket. You are in a cricket fucking business, bro. Majority of the people are out to get something from you, and they could get it for free. They would, man.
But I have a problem with Deontay Wilder. The same problem I have with him is the same problem I have with Terrence Crawford. I have no remorse for them because they watched Floyd get disragged by the LDBC even after they initially supported Floyd. Like, you didn't have that as your schoolmaster, as your tutorialship in front of you to see how that moved, to pay attention to that, or you chose to ignorantly not pay attention to it. And they were smart enough to see that he had issues with Floyd, and they have issues with Floyd, so they used that to their advantage. Let's just be honest. They were more savvier than him, so they were able to finesse him. And in finessing him, like you said, he thought he was being genuine to his people. He got fucking hoodwinked. He got screwed over big time. And once I saw all of that was happening, because over here we're three-dimensional thinkers, we see right through the bullshit and fuck shit. I said, okay, Wilder, you on a timeout. Because you're not seeing, you're not looking at all of the pieces on the fucking table. You're not looking at all the chess pieces. You're not paying attention to all the moves. You're only paying attention to certain moves here. And boy, did he get checked, fucking mate, because the motherfuckers got their cash apps, they got their super chats, and now in their mind, a white man has lynched him twice. Oh, we can't get behind that. He's a fucking loser. Shit, me and Ross is having more support of Deontay Wilder than they ever fucking have, because we still talking about Deontay Wilder in a great light. My only thing with Deontay Wilder was, come on, man. Floyd,
I want him to get it. I want him to get a better.
Mayweather was trying to help you to get you away from these motherfuckers. Why weren't you listening all this time? He went on public media to tell you this shit. Like, no fucking excuses, man.
You gotta think about it, man. When you look at his career, and when you look at Floyd's career, yeah, I know. Floyd, yeah, he got people that's not black around him, but they work in the finances. All the people around him, when it comes to the sport, they his family, man. There are people he sees their family. There's no non-black people around him, and when it comes to actual in the ring shit. Cut man. People who look at the gloves. All that shit, because at the end of the day, these people making billions of dollars off you, bro. All they need you to do is get in the ring, and they made their money. It don't matter whether you win or you lose. You know what I'm saying? Nobody who care about you will allow you to take that fight. Nobody. Nobody who's doing their job correctly will allow you to take that fight. And that's a gross mistake for that to happen. So that's not a mistake. It's hard to make that type of mistake as a professional. You know what I'm saying? But when people don't give a fuck about you, and when they're white, and the guy you're fighting is white, and they get a pride if he wins, because they can say a white man beat a black man, it don't really matter if you win or lose. They got paid off you already. They got paid off you. It don't matter whether you win or lose. As long as you get in the ring, this is the reason why your lawyer didn't threaten the fight's over. He just allows you to get in the ring. Because he don't, let me get my shit. Because he don't care about you. That's why. Juice Lee, thanks for the super chat, bro. You know what I'm saying? Donate to motivate. That's the reason why we've been taking breaks off the lives. Because me and him, we were both very busy. And granted, we know this is your hard-earned money, but this is our hard-earned time as well. You know what I'm saying?
Juice Lee, since you donated to Motivate, I'm gonna read your comments. Y'all want y'all comments read? Donate to fucking Motivate. He said Dante started new media boxing wise, but he's not LDBC. Interesting point, because he did get the nod of approval from Floyd, which opened the floodgates for every motherfucker. Juice Lee said they use Wilder for ad revenue, cash apps, and super chats. LOL. The LDBC pimped him. That's exactly what the fuck they did.
Yep.
They pimped the shit out of his ass. I'm gonna leave that one up for a little bit because that one was the truth. Evan Duncan, same thing. You dropping a lethal comment, but you got to donate to Motivate, dog, so we can show your shit. Then Juice Lee went and said Wilder is not my favorite. I like how he said that, but he seems to be a good dude. What they did to him was criminal. That's exactly what it was, man. They took a good guy and they sullied him. It's kind of like Bane. If you guys watch Dark Knight Rises, and Bane talked about how he felt sorry for basically the way that they sullied. Gotham had sullied the guy that ultimately became Two-Face. His name's not coming to me. Harvey Dent. They sullied him. They took a white shining beacon and they degraded him and they brought him down to their fucking level. And what he was basically trying to say is, this is how the system is. The system gives you a similitude as if it is operating in its full vernacular in a good fashion, but it's corrupt. If you really paid attention to that Batman movie, the Bane symbol, and all of the people that were under Bane represented us, the black people. Mm-hmm. And Batman, as much as I love Batman and them, they represented the white people.
The power
exactly, if you really paid attention to the Dark Knight Rises and you really looked at the undertones of everything, that's what it was. Bane actually was not the villain, he was the hero, because he unmasked Gotham and he showcased Gotham for what the fuck it was, which was those motherfuckers were evil. They were fucked.
Yep.
And they needed to be unmasked for what they were. This is the LDBC. They need to be unmasked for what the fuck they are. You look at a lot of these guys, they look like rats. They look like raccoons. They look like fucking rugrats. They look like chihuahuas. They look like Chewbacca's, man. These motherfuckers clearly are motherfuckers that if they wasn't getting cash apps, they wasn't getting super chats, they wasn't getting what they were getting, or they didn't have some kind of social status, because social status is what gets you where it's at, they wouldn't even be looked at. The women that's fucking with them wouldn't even look their way, because women, you know, there's so many things that allows women to be corrupted by the opposite sex, and one of those is social status. And when I use the word corrupt, I'm not using it in a negative vernacular. I'm just using it in the vernacular of the way to get their fucking soul. Because women can be corruptible beings. And I'm using this, I'm correlating it into a Batman terminology. But what I'm saying is they are impressionable beings. And one of the ways to impressionate their ass is through social status. And these motherfuckers that look like rats, that look like fucking shit stains that come out of your ass crack, because they know they look like shit. They know they feel like shit. So they got to show to you, other men, their bodies, which tells me there's homosexual undertones, because why are you as men paying attention to them? That makes absolutely no fucking sense to me. And you're sitting here super chatting, cash apping, and donating to men that show their bodies when they should be showing their bodies to their women. And then at the same time, you got them talking about Weight Watchers and shit, showcasing motherfuckers' bodies, letting you know they got sugar in their tanks, like the Boxing Egos. Basically, I wouldn't be surprised if Boxing Ego, every time he goes to a boxing live, and I think there are probably some homosexual boxers that's out there, because for him to do Weight Watchers, he's had to already be on his fucking knees for some boxers, maybe low levels, who fucking knows. He's probably been on his knees, and the boxer is giving them exactly what he said when he talked about their V-taper. And because of that, they've been put out there. Evan Duncan, thank you for the super chat, but come on, 99 cents, come on, you can do better than that. You want your comment to be shown 99 cents, bruh? Come on, man. You got to do better than that. Come stronger. Juice Lee $5. Come fucking stronger.
Evan Duncan,
no disrespect, dog.
Evan Duncan, he basically saying we trash.
Yeah,
we trash.
99 cents. Listen, man, it was best you didn't even donate. That's even more of a disrespect, man. Let me take your comment off, dog. That's a disrespect, man. 99 cents? Come on, man. Well, he said, how do you change the amount on Super Chat? I don't know.
I don't know, bro.
I don't know because I don't operate the Super Chat. But you see on the banner down there, the Cash App, it says money sign that heat and that fire. So why don't you send it to the Cash App? And because you made that gaffe of 99 cents, you have now nominated yourself for a $20 donation, dog. I mean, it's the only way to rectify the situation. It's the only way to just rectify the disrespect. $20, man. Let's rectify. You the homie, but you're gonna have to prove your homieship by rectifying it with a $20 donation. But anyways, as we continue on, this is what they've done, and this is why it's perpetuated to even Gervonta Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather. They've disrespected Gervonta Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather to the point to where they were waiting on this, man. They were waiting for some kind of open. You got to understand, Blue Finch Straddler TV, a Finch Straddling beta got disrespected. He got laughed at. He got ridiculed by Leonard Ellaby, who basically acted like he was just a fucking doorstep. Like, who the fuck do I even fucking know you?
Right.
And he was waiting. That's why you notice once Gervonta Tank Davis's contract came up, he was the first motherfucker to drop videos about the shit. And low key, Tom Ross has said this. I'm gonna say this right now. The LDBC is not even running the LDBC. You know who's running the LDBC right now? It's Monty Brown TV.
Yep.
I mean, it's crazy. Monty Brown TV is running the LDBC, and he's not even LDBC. The motherfucker is ANSBC. Y'all need to go do your research on ANSBC. ANSBC is contradictory to LDBC. It's not even the same organization. But y'all too stupid to know the difference between any fucking thing. And he's using the LDBC name to pimp off of the situation. If y'all was smart and y'all was smartening up, y'all would catch that shit. And they're going off of his narratives because all he's doing is basically sucking the cinnamon out of Canelo Alvarez's ass crack.
This is the reason why I only deal with boxing when I feel moved to do it. It's not a mainstay on my channel. Because what I realize is I don't really want to be a part of that community. I love boxing though, but I don't necessarily want to be part of the boxing community because it's all monkey see, monkey do, man. If you do some shit that catch on, next thing everybody just start doing it. Like nobody has an identity. Everybody just start doing it, bro. Like basically what Monty Brown doing, and it's working for him. He's basically he's speaking, he's gossiping for the fighter. You know what I mean? Like Canelo says he'll stop Mayweather. Like we haven't heard Canelo say that, but he's gossiping for the fighter. Salute Evan Duggan. You know what I'm saying? And that's catching on now. So now everybody's just gossiping for the fighter now, and just saying they basically it's called slander. They basically lying. It could be sued, but a lot of these boxers don't even be knowing these videos be happening. And they're not gonna sue these niggas. To them, these niggas is broke, so they ain't gonna sue them. They just use it. They're like, okay, even though I didn't say that, it's still publicity, so I'm gonna let it rock. But if they want to be petty, they can do what Cardi B did. Cardi B sued the fuck out of Tasha K.
Yep,
fucked her up. She owed her $3.4 billion. $3.4 million she owed her for slander.
Yep. And that's what the dumb don't realize. So let the dumb keep doing what he's doing, because eventually, if Canelo's team catch notice of what the fuck he's doing, they could sue for defamation of character. That's what a lot of these people, they sell their soul out to get views and subs, and they don't realize they could dig themselves into a grave. And we see Monty Brown, we see his condition, we know how he is. He ain't got the money to be paying that damn defamation of character from Canelo. So it's best to not lie, and it's best to tell the truth, because when you lie, the chickens always come to roost on that situation. Whatever you do in the dark always comes to light. So let him continue to keep lying. Let him continue to keep gossiping. The shit's going to end up bad for him. But I also want to say this, but motherfuckers need to understand this shit. Jaron Ennis is not the next guy. Jaron Ennis is so heavily overrated And Jaron Ennis, if you want my honest opinion, Jaron Ennis is basically this is about to make Ross laugh. Jaron Ennis is Roy Jones Jr. at his worst. Basically, you know how Roy had a moment where he became a superstar, and he had a moment where he really stood out, and Roy Jones Jr. was just unbelievably unreal. Jaron Ennis is Roy Jones Jr. that never became Roy Jones Jr. That's what he is if you're really paying attention. Because Roy Jones Jr. was so good, he didn't need to clout chase all of these fighters that he wanted to fight. His ability, his skill set, what he brought to the table in the square circle got him those fucking fights. And those motherfuckers were calling him out. Jaron Ennis, if you notice, he's not paying attention to his stock. And you know what ended up happening with Jaron Ennis? He ended up losing out, Ross, on a fight that he could have exposed Blair Cobbs. Let's be honest here. He ducked Blair Cobbs and let somebody else
do
it. And fight fans didn't even hold him accountable for the shit. He could have been the one that could have been the meme for Blair Cobbs. That's fucking crazy.
And that would have. That's the thing. These guys are so worried about fights they don't deserve. They're missing the fights that could catapult them. That could have been a fight. Now people are thinking, okay, cool. He ain't with Errol Spence in them, but he could be the guy of his era. But you got to beat the guys of your era to be the guy of your era. You can't claim that when you're not fighting the guys of your era. You know what I mean? So he should have been the one to beat Blair Cobbs. He should be the one to beat what's the other Mexican dude? That both need to call out Virgil Ortiz. They both want to fight Spence. No, fight each other.
Yep.
And he should be the one to beat the dude that just beat Blair Cobbs.
Yep.
Now you go now. What next fight he need to have is to fight the dude that just beat Blair Cobbs. Beat the hell out of that dude. Then fight Virgil Ortiz. Show that you the next guy after the Spence era.
Yep.
For the
them niggas, Ross, are missing the mark so much to the point to where, could you imagine Blair Cobbs saying the shit that he said about Errol the True Spence, and then Jaron Boots Ennis be the one to knock him out? Do you understand how that would have had him viral? Like, people miss fucking opportunities because, let's keep it a buck, the reason why Jaron Boots Ennis wasn't even looking Blair Cobbs' way is because he vehemently ducked him. There was something about Blair Cobbs that made Jaron Boots Ennis hesitant. And now somebody else gets the reward off of his hesitancy.
Yep.
And boxing fans don't pay attention. That's the problem with boxing fans. Me and Ross always pay attention to the bigger picture shit that boxing fans really don't fucking pay attention to. And this is why you got somebody like Sean Porter.
Appreciate it, man. Chosen. Appreciate it.
Salute to you, Glee, the chosen one. Because they like what we saying. They know we saying that shit that nobody else is fucking saying. And this is why Sean Porter could be stupid enough. This is how you could tell he's suffering bloated trauma from Spence.
Sorry, y'all, but I was a little hungry.
Nah, you good, man. This is a lot where we eating shit like that. We earn the right to do that. At least we ain't got no white beaters and looking all fucking, what's up?
Look at Mange.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. This is why a Sean Porter of the world can sit there and Sean Porter can say that a guy in Ugas that beat him is rated above Spence that washed him. That's bloated trauma right there. That's a guy that's suffering mental issues.
Better,
you know how you could tell he's suffering mental issues, Ross? It started when he said Manny Pacquiao over Floyd Mayweather. That tells you Spence beat him up mentally bad.
Man, I would give you that, but he's his father's son. His father would always be saying sellout shit, and he ain't fall too far from the tree. Before, granted, he got fucked up by Spence. I'm not taking that away from Spence, but that sellout shit, he been doing shit like that. He been doing shit like that. Man, he always been saying Manny is something about Manny. You want to know what it is? He got to say Manny over Floyd. Guess what? He fight more like Manny than he do Floyd. That's why. He wild like Manny. He unorthodox like Manny. Floyd is perfect in these boxers' eyes. That's why only the good boxers say Floyd. The ones who had a lot of imperfections in their game, they say somebody else, anybody but Floyd. They say fighters they ain't even see fight. These young ass fighters be 28, 29 years old talking about Sugar Ray Robinson. Nigga, you ain't seen Sugar Ray Robinson fight. How the fuck you gonna say Sugar Ray Robinson better than Floyd?
I'm glad you said that, Ross, because Evan Duncan said jealousy. And you know why he's jealous of Errol Spence? Because Kenny Porter said out his own mouth that he wished that Errol the True Spence was his son over Sean Porter. And when you look at Sean Porter is the incomplete version of what Spence is as a fighter. Spence is the completed version. So, of course, he's jealous as fuck. Because your own dad said he wanted his adopted son to be the fucking son and not you. If he could replace your ass, and then to see that Errol the True Spence is the completed version of what you could never be. Come on, man. That's why he's always hating. We just got to keep it away. It's like Timothy Bradley. His hatred for Spence is what Timothy Bradley's hatred was for Floyd Mayweather. It's the same shit. And it's precisely different.
And also sellout shit too, because it's motivated by pleasing the white man.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it. Sean Porter when he covered a boxer, you'd be like, yo, what the fuck is Sean Porter talking about some of the time, bro? He be late as fuck, he be falling asleep and shit. But you wonder why he get all those jobs? Because he a fucking sellout.
Yep.
It was one time during the fight, Sean Porter was asleep, man.
Yep.
They panned over to that nigga was snoring.
Yep.
Bruh. But when you sell out like that, you're gonna always have opportunities. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Just like you tell his cover game trash. Sean Porter is a celebrity boxer. He only be having like 1,000 people on his chat, bro. That's it. Nigga don't even be want to hear what he got to say, bro.
Yep.
Can you imagine what it'd be if Errol Spence, or can you imagine what it'd be? Floyd or any established boxer that retired did a podcast about boxing, it'd be thousands of niggas in their shit, man.
Yep.
When you're a boxer, you're supposed to have more than boxer ego. You're supposed to have more than these guys. On your first time you go live.
Yep.
You're going to be that interesting.
You're not supposed to be building that shit up.
Right.
And the reason why Sean Porter's building it up is because they don't even believe. Look at Jerron Ennis. This is proof they don't respect Sean Porter. They put Jerron Ennis, who's not even proven, over Sean Porter. And I thought that was disrespectful because Sean Porter has a proven track record. They put Jerron Pup over him. They valued him over Sean Porter. So Sean Porter got to be smarter and pay attention to these things. So whatever he says is not even fucking valued. It's not even important, Ross. It's not even something that holds fucking water. Because even the motherfuckers that you see that's interviewing him, Ross, and the motherfuckers that's paying attention to him, they could see that he's off kilter with whatever the fuck he's saying, because they could tell that what he's saying is not making no fucking sense. Because they judge him by his performance. They always say that Sean Porter is the one. You remember that Brandy song, Almost Doesn't Count?
Right.
That's him to the T. Almost doesn't fucking count. He always gets to where he gets to, but almost doesn't fucking count.
He's a two-time welterweight champ. I'll give him that. But he's lost the biggest fights in his career.
Yep.
When you lose the biggest fights in your career, you're going to be underneath the nigga that won.
Exactly.
That's the reason why you can't put... It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful to put Ugas over Spence, and there's this bitterness because Spence been in more bigger fights.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And Spence, didn't you not somehow, some way get a decision over Ugas?
Yep.
Didn't Spence beat your ass?
Exactly. So how's Ugas over Spence? Even with the Manny Pacquiao fight, how is he over? That's called jealousy, man. Like Evan Duncan said, and it's also envy. Jealousy and envy plagues our black community, man. And that's the same jealousy and envy that's plaguing Gervonta Tank Davis, Floyd Mayweather. Now they're coming up with shit to say Floyd is setting up Gervonta Tank Davis through who? Rolly Romero. Why would Floyd set him up through Rolly Romero? That makes absolutely no fucking sense.
Romero supposed to be easy work for Tank. He can't even box. He got a little power. He can't box.
Yeah.
He was whooping on Ryan Garcia like because Ryan Garcia trash.
Exactly.
He can't do that shit to Floyd. I mean, he can't do that shit to Lil Floyd, to Lil Tank.
Yep.
He can't do that shit to Tank.
Yep.
If anything, that's a good tune-up fight for a bigger fight. They be making shit up because they'll be down if they say something positive about Floyd.
Mm-hmm. And that's what Tank's not seeing. Tank's not seeing. If there's one thing that Tank's not seeing, he's not seeing all the pieces. He's not seeing how Floyd is actually looking out for him and having him fight Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero is Tank's way of prepping for those fights that they're going to have coming up. Mm-hmm. Because Rolly Romero has similar sizes, like the Teofimo Lopez, similar sizes like the Ryan Garcia, and he fights in a certain way that, although it's his own style, it can give Gervonta Tank Davis a look of what he's going to expect when he fights guys like this of this magnitude. And that's why Floyd did that, to help him. But Gervonta Tank Davis is not seeing that because Gervonta is asking questions. Why is he fighting Rolly Romero? It's a stay busy fight. You need to stay busy because let's keep it a buck, Gervonta Tank Davis. As much as I like you, your ass don't stay busy, you're going to blow the fuck up. And right. Floyd, and it's not like Floyd can just out of nowhere get big fights and turn it around tomorrow. Teofimo Lopez has left 135. He's 140. Ryan Garcia is not looking to fight Gervonta Tank Davis. Lomachenko is in Ukraine. I mean, what is Gervonta Tank Davis not paying attention to here?
And the thing is this: in the big boxing media, they don't keep the same energy because when you're not black, you can duck anybody.
Yep.
The whole reason why Tank came to 135, so all them niggas was like, "Man, we ready for Tank." Why Tank still fighting people at 130? He's scared of them. Tank come to 135. It's all these excuses why they can't fight Tank. So you got to understand, if you can't get the fight that you really want, you got to settle for a decent fight that these people want to see. People want to see the fight between him and Rolly because Rolly's been saying goofy shit.
Yep.
So they want to see Tank stop him. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? They want to see that.
That's why I told you, Glee the Chosen One, I told you that. When I was trying to tell boxing fans, he said when the fight was first made, fans were saying Spence was going to wash Ugas. And he ducking butt and wanting to boycott the fight. Now everybody got Ugas for upset. They want Spence to lose so bad. First and foremost, me and Ross are smart. We're the two most connoisseur businessmen. We knew there was no way fight fans were going to be stupid enough to not watch Spence fight. Spence is too marketable to not watch him fight. They weren't going to boycott his fight. So let's get that straight. Secondly, the whole situation with Ugas is we knew that they were going to flip the script. We knew they were going to make it. Now they want Ugas for the upset. You want to know why? It's because they were never really Earl the True Spence fans. I've been saying this for years. They fake as fuck Earl the True Spence fans.
Right.
They really Budman fans and now bootlickers. That's what they've always been at their truest and their most prosperous levels.
What they're saying when they say they want Ugas for the upset, they're basically saying they don't want Bud to fight Spence.
There you go.
That's what they're saying.
Yep.
Bud fans don't want the Spence fight. They just talking. They like Bud. Bud don't want the Spence. He don't want the Spence fight. He'll do it if he got to. If ain't no other choice. Bud don't want to fight Spence. And his fans don't want to fight him either. That's what boxing has come to. It's boxing fans not wanting their fighter to fight top level competition because they can't take the side of them losing. Canelo fans don't want him to fight no top guy at 160 or 168. None. Bud fans, all the people they comfortable with Bud fighting are people that Spence already beat. We all know you're supposed to be skilled. The next Floyd, if you can't get the fight you want at 147, you're supposed to go to 154 and win up there and then come back down. That's what the skilled niggas do. That's what Floyd did. But he ain't do that because guess what? He'll lose. He not Floyd. He goes to 154, he'll get stopped. Because Bud get hurt and down there every fight he fight. Every fight he fight, he get hurt. Somebody put some pain on his ass. Down there every time he fight.
And
So he can't go.
Canelo, you could tell he's bitter because he's still talking about
Floyd.
a fight with Floyd. If Floyd would have fought him now, dude, just accept the loss. Just stick to the script of what you said from day one. That's the loss that I have. It's the loss on my resume, but I lost to the guy who's the best boxer of our generation, arguably the best boxer ever. If you just keep saying that, you actually walk out with more class and it makes you look better
What?
saying that than you sitting here saying it would be different now. Dude, you was 23 years old. You was 42-0. Floyd was 44-0. You had 2 less fights than Floyd. So motherfuckers that want to sit here and say that Canelo was young, get the fuck out of here. He was 23 years old.
It'll be different now. Ain't it supposed to be different now? You still younger than him.
And
now
then
he's an
Canelo
old
had
ass
to
man.
say prime Floyd. A washed up Floyd dominated you. A prime Floyd versus a prime you. That fight would be even worse. It'd be even more lopsided. I would want to fucking see the shit.
If you would have switched the ages, and how old was Floyd at the time? 35?
36.
36-year-old Floyd, the 36-year-old Canelo fought a pretty boy Floyd, he got stopped. He got stopped that fight, man.
Yep.
You're an old nigga, you don't make it with Floyd. You get punished.
Yep.
No old nigga stood in there with Floyd 12 rounds, man.
It would have been a bigger version of Arturo Gatti.
Right, it would have been bad.
Yep. And this is why Canelo Alvarez is a laughingstock. And then for him to have his biggest fan be a black YouTuber, that's appalling because Canelo Alvarez, and this is why this black YouTuber is the dumbest motherfucker I've ever seen on the face of this planet, because Canelo Alvarez is really racist. How we know he's racist? Go look at the shit he's said about the black legends. He don't disrespect his own Mexican legend. His own Mexican legends talk shit about him. Oscar de la Hoya, Julio Cesar Chavez, Juan Manuel Marquez. He still always talk great about them. He don't never get out of pocket. But the great black legends, he always got some racist sidebar shit to say, like Roy Jones Jr., like Mark Tyson, like Andre Ward, like Floyd Mayweather, guys that you know clearly are out of your stratosphere. But he always got some wayward shit to say about those motherfuckers. Bernard Hopkins. It clearly tells you. And that's why this motherfucker, when he finally meets Canelo, or he finds Canelo in his truthful moment, Canelo's going to embarrass him. And then he's going to turn around and say, man, I didn't know Canelo was salty like that. I didn't know he was flawed like that. But you were sitting here doing all of these gossip videos thinking you were in his benefit. And then you find out the truth that he thanked you all of this time for promoting him and helping him get promoted in the black community, when in actuality, he don't give a shit about the black community. This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen on the fucking planet, man.
No way you're supposed to be bigging up Canelo. But the thing is, what exposed Canelo as being racist is this thing right here. When Canelo got irritated at Demetrius Andrade, he called him a motherfucker. Motherfucker has a racist origin. Cause they used to have black male slaves have sex with anybody on the plantation and shit. So this how you knew he knew what he said was wrong. Because when Caleb Plant called him a motherfucker, he got upset and wanted to fight and shit. He said, don't call me that. Don't call me that. That's racist. Because he knew what he said was wrong when he called Andre that shit. He knew what he was saying was wrong.
Double standards.
Yeah.
If these motherfuckers knew what this carrot top was thinking, they wouldn't get it. Mayweather's not remember. Tyson's a legend, but yet Mayweather is always out of your mouth, right?
Yeah, man.
Tyson is always talking about Mayweather, but he's not remembered. Shut the fuck up,
man. That motherfucker didn't even donate to the channel, man. Don't even respond to that shit.
Yeah, I just wanted to quickly say, shut the fuck up.
You can't bring up somebody's name in a sentence and say they not remembered.
Exactly.
That don't make sense.
Exactly. You just brought their fucking name up. Shut the fuck up. You got a bunch of stupid motherfuckers. They don't know the sport of boxing. They run in their fucking mouth. The bottom line is, if Canelo keeps mentioning Mayweather out of his fucking mouth, how is he not remembered? Every time Mayweather's brought up, that's the only loss. And I love the way those journalists say that. That's the only loss you've ever suffered in your career. Every time they motherfuckers say that shit, you see Canelo's face, man.
Right.
Mad. Like you get PTSD, man.
and it was a bad lopsided fight.
Mm-hmm.
A bad lopsided fight, man.
Yep.
Like, that was, you know what I mean? Outside of Pacquiao, that was one of the easiest works he had, man. That was easy work, man. That's why Canelo can never be great to me. You a PED cheat, and you lost. That's the fight you're supposed to win.
Yep.
That would be like Muhammad Ali losing to Sonny Liston.
Yep.
Just imagine that. That's what that would have been.
Niggas saying Canelo versus Mayweather is boring as fuck. They don't know boxing. Boxing is hit and don't get hit.
Anytime
it's a realistic sport. That means you don't know shit.
People don't realize
that boxing is shit.
That's not that. That's code. That's code for Latinos.
Yep.
Latinos, anytime when their fighters lose to a black fighter, they always say it's boring to try to discredit the fight.
Yep.
Fact of the matter is, if you guys know how to box, these fights wouldn't be boring. Your feet are too slow, your reflexes are too slow, and you just get the shit beat out of you the whole fight. And it's like anything. You see in a one-sided football game, it's not gonna be as interesting.
Mm-hmm.
If you see in a one-sided baseball game, it's gonna be that interesting, right?
Yep.
Because you know what I mean? That's how it goes. People want to see parity. They want to see equity. When one fight is superior than the other, it's not going to be as challenging. It's not going to be as entertaining.
Yep.
Especially if you don't understand boxing. If you just think boxing is just putting your heads together and just swinging wildly, it shows. It shows why black people are the greatest fighters of all time.
Exactly.
We actually know how to fight.
I've said that before. Black fighters are the greatest. And it's interesting that Evan Duncan said this. Floyd is remembered through the terrible imitation that Canelo does every fight. If Canelo was so remembered, then why is he always imitating Floyd? I see him try to do a Floyd move, and he looks 100 times slower. And the Mexican style to come forward is a bullshit style. You know who perfected the come forward style? It's not even a Mexican. It's Errol the True Spence. Errol the True Spence made y'all style perfect. If Errol Spence never showed up, y'all wouldn't have a perfected come forward style.
Errol Spence and Hagler are perfected come forward.
Yep.
All the rest are trash.
Trash.
All y'all do is catch punches with y'all face.
That's it.
Y'all
get
block
punched
punches
like fucking human pinatas.
Y'all block punches with y'all face, man.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all's trash, man.
Julio Cesar Chavez fought 82. My bad, 89 cab drivers. Then when he started fighting real fighters, he got the shit beaten out of him. Oscar De La Hoya damn near retired his ass. Pernell Whitaker was robbed from beating the shit out of his ass. Y'all legends are not legends, man. Y'all, they're overrated. The only Mexican legend that's truly a legend, if you want me to be honest, and Floyd even washed him, and he's the only one that I have respect for, is Juan Manuel Marquez. And Floyd washed his ass too. I mean, fucking washed him. Washed the shit out of his ass. But Floyd is not remembered. He washed all these Mexicans. He's the Mexican hunter. I think that's what it is. Y'all mad because Floyd has dominated all you Mexican fighters.
That's
why I have Victor Ortiz beating Floyd, and Victor Ortiz was doing all this dirty shit, and Floyd said, "Man, fuck you, hands down, man down, beat the shit out of that." They wanted Victor Ortiz to win that fight so bad, and the youngin fucked up, had his hands down, didn't protect himself at all times, and Floyd knocked the fucking shit out of his ass. Floyd's not, I don't want this motherfucker hitting me in the balls all day. Hands down, man, fuck this nigga. I'm gonna knock his fucking ass out right now. You can't fault Floyd for that. That's a rookie fucking mistake. And see, this is the problem. Let's be honest. If you're a Mexican fighter, let's be a Mexican fan. Let's be honest. You're mad at Floyd for dominating all of your Mexican fighters. Just say that. If you say that, you'll feel better. And that's why y'all mad at Gervonta Tank Davis. Because Gervonta Tank Davis made y'all Leo Santa Cruz a fucking meme. Just be honest here, man. You Mexican fighters keep getting dominated by black fighters. I don't know. I stopped keeping up score, but I know the black fighters are way up on the fucking score versus the Mexican fighters. I just lost count of the shit. It's just that much more lopsided.
Mm-hmm.
But now let's move on, man, because I'm done with fucking talking the boxing shit, man. Let's get on with this shit. Jaden Smith has basically told his mom that she's not shit. She's ruining the fucking family. And Jaden Smith has already previously done an emancipation proclamation against the Smith family back a few years ago. Jaden Smith said, you basically took a friend that I brought to the family, you coerced the friend that I brought to the fucking family, and then you basically wanted to have your fucking entanglement. And then you have dad come on the Oscars. This is Jaden Smith that said this.
Yeah.
And slap a man and almost lose his fucking career. This is how Jaden Smith is feeling. I would have thought Jaden Smith would have been feeling another way, but no, he came correct. He said, you have tarnished the family's image. You ruined the family. You are manipulative. And this is why I wanted to emancipate myself from the family, because I always knew you were like this. I knew your ways from day one. And now you have Willow under your thumb. Had Jada Pinkett Smith crying, saying he's ungrateful, saying he doesn't know what she's done for him as a mother, the struggle she had when she was pregnant, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Listen, I think Jaden Smith is right on the thumb. He's right on the needle. And he's having more fucking backbone than his own father in the damn situation. What's your take on this shit, man?
Yeah, I think he softened his stance. Cause that happened like in the beginning of the Red Table Talk, like some years ago. But yeah, I think he softened his stance just because he loves his mother, but he still feels that way. It's the truth, man. She's super manipulative, man. And I know it because I've been with women like that. And two things will bring out the manipulation of a woman. If you're a beta, for sure. And if you are a alpha, and she's a very masculine woman. Because she's a very masculine woman, she sees you as a competition. And every day it's just her. Every day is her challenging you for authority in the crib. Every fucking day, some way, somehow. And times past, you get taught that you can't quit on people, and you can't you know what I mean? Because you just don't want to be like the typical black, so-called black dude or whatever. That you stay with shit that you should quit. No, man. If you out there, you dealing with a woman who keeps fighting you for control and power, you need to get you a new chick, man. Because she was raised that way, she's not going to change. She don't think there's nothing wrong with the way she's moving. She don't think there's nothing wrong with that. And now these generation of women, they think that's their position, is to dominate and control a relationship. You know what I mean? To give the appearance of being submissive, but low key, but doing what they want to do. That's how they do, man. You know what I'm saying?
That shit, because that's exactly what Jada Pinkett Smith has done. And now we could understand why Jaden Smith did the emancipation, man. Because he could see it's like his eyes was more clear on his mom's manipulative ways than the dad.
Mm-hmm.
And he spoke out against it through an emancipation. He spoke out against it through him wanting to separate himself from the family. And when he was on Red Table Talk, he was going in on the mom, had her fucking crying out her fucking tears. Now looking back at it, he should have went all the way through with that emancipation, because that would have gotten enough attention off of her ass. Because women that are manipulated that way and they want to have all that masculine energy, they never want to look bad in front of people.
Right.
They don't want to have that bad impression that they failed as a mother, that they failed in them basically corralling situations and holding it to the highest degree, the highest order, and the highest magnitude. Now looking back on that shit should have just happened. Fuck it. It should have just happened all the way to fuck through. Because the way that Will Smith has basically been emasculated, the way that Will Smith has been trodden and felt like he's had to make moves to satisfy her, acquiesce to her. Come on, man. It's the things that make you say, It's the things that make you say, And if you go back and look at the clip, guess what, Tom Ross? She was laughing when the G.I. Jane joke happened initially.
Right.
So she went from laughing to then turning around and looking at Will. So she really wanted to start some shit with Chris Rock. Because how the fuck you go from initially laughing to then all of a sudden singling out Will Smith to getting Chris Rock hit in the fucking face? That shit don't make no fucking sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because the thing about it is, it was all about him. She didn't want him to have the night that he was supposed to have, and she succeeded. Yep. He was having too much fun. So if she would have looked over and he wouldn't have been laughing, then she wouldn't have said nothing because he's not having a good time. When she looked over and saw that he was having a good time on his night, she had to ruin it, and that's how manipulative bitches are. They don't congratulate you. They're not happy for you. They don't want you having a good time unless they want you to have a good time. You know what I'm saying? Yep. A lot of these women are secretly in competition with you. They secretly in competition with niggas, man. And that's the reason why she don't. Most people they don't congratulate their competitors. That's the reason why they don't congratulate you. They're not happy for you, right? They want to see you have bad days because they competing with you and living in the house with you.
Well, you're absolutely right about that, man. That's the thing. Will Smith has basically been emasculated for a number of years, and Will Smith was just acting out as a man who didn't know how to control himself. Because you got to understand, there's a war going on. There's a war between the raging of his mind and the raging of his body. His body is saying that he wants to be that man, but his mind is acting like he's basically corrupt, that his mind is locked in a cell somewhere and his mind cannot control the situation because she has control of his mind. And she has basically allowed him to get attached. When men get attached, this is when shit like this happens. This is why it's frowned upon for men to get attached in relationships, because once you get attached like that, you're literally fucked.
Right. You basically like a Mexican. Most Mexicans I know, they get emotional like that. They fight over women that don't want them.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, so.
Yep. Most Mexicans end up having their women get fucked by us black dudes. And that's why they're bitter. And that's why they come on people's channels and start talking shit about black men. Because they know their women are being fucked by black men. Let's just be honest here.
Yep. So low key, like they saying the angry hood dude because it's a black dude, but it was a mess. They will understand because that's what they go through all the time.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You got to think about it. If your favorite wife, if your wife's favorite porn is big black cock, then you don't have a big black cock. So see, obviously you're not her first choice.
Yep.
So that got to do something to your mental, and there's therapy for that.
Yep. And then their Mexican women, when their Mexican women turn around and their Mexican women say, "You are a cuckold. I want to fuck this black dude, and I want you to watch me fuck this black dude. And if you don't accept this shit, I'm gonna be done with your ass, and I ain't gonna deal with your ass. I'm gonna do it behind your back." That's why you got motherfuckers like these white and Mexican dudes sitting here cuckold as fuck, watching their women get fucked by a black dude. Mm-hmm. And they better not dare say nothing against that black dude, because that black dude's not only fucking their women, that black dude turn around and tell them, "Look here, motherfucker, you get out of pocket, I'll beat the living shit out of your ass." So they have to sit there and watch and take it, even though they don't want that, because they don't want her to leave. And at the same time, they can't say shit to that brother because they know that brother will turn around and beat the living shit out of them.
Yeah. Italian dudes too. Italian dudes was the first cuckolds.
Yep.
Y'all the first ones, man. Italian dudes, they're so weird because they wanted to be black people so bad, but that they hated them.
Yep.
They tried to dress like them.
Mm-hmm.
They drove the same cars, Cadillacs.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But they hate. It's like they expound on that and do the right thing. How dude was so racist, but all his favorite people were black.
Yep.
He's like, man, how your favorite people are black, but you always saying the N word. Like, what's up with you, man? And dude was he was in a place that he was in a place of turmoil because basically he wanted to be those guys, man.
Yep.
He wanted to be those guys, but he could never be them, so he grew to hate them.
Yep.
I love Spike Lee movies, man. I love them.
Yep. I love them too.
They expose the weakness of the races.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They
expose the weakness of when you have an inferior genetic pool line inside of you. And that's what it really boils down to. So when you come on this channel, you better come correct, or you will be exposed for your inferior weak gene line. So donate to motivate, even if you got a weak inferior gene line. And even though your women are sitting here fucking the black dudes and they're telling you to your face, you ain't shit and we want to fuck black dudes.
Yeah.
And they tell you to your face, black don't crack, to your fucking face. Meaning what they're telling you is you fucking crack, you ain't shit. That's what they fucking telling you. Okay. Let's just be honest here. So you better fucking come correct when you get on this damn channel. So you're gonna walk out of this bitch feeling some type of way. That's why you sitting here saying, bro, leave me alone. You better come fucking correct. And motherfuckers like you better also donate to fucking motivate. But anyways, let's get on to this shit. The king of hip hop is arguably a toss up between Jay-Z and Kanye West. And I ain't mad if motherfuckers say Kanye West. Drake is the king of hits. He ain't no king of no damn hip hop. Clearly, we can tell you're a cuckold because you just basically said the number one cuckold in the world is the king of hip hop. This is the guy who's always pleading for women that are taken, pleading for the Rihannas of the world, who A$AP Rocky, by the way, took, who had Chris Brown had previously, pleading for the Nicki Minaj's who was taken by Meek Mill. And then by this dude that really we don't know who the fuck he is. He just came out of nowhere. Not really a big name. He's a no-namer. Pleading for all of these different women of the world that really is not paying the motherfucker no attention. Serena Williams, she ended up marrying this white guy who basically is a Silicon Valley dude that's literally like a fucking billionaire. And she didn't pay attention to no damn Drake over him. So, I mean, the bottom line is Drake is always going after motherfuckers that
don't want him.
Don't fucking want him. And they can see the beta right through him. So if that's who you root for, you just clearly reveal to us what we've already been saying about you from day one. A cuckold. You're a fucking cuckold. Because only cuckolds say that the king of someone that is a cuckold is the king of hip hop, when in actuality, that is not real. That is not reality. So go sit your ass down somewhere. But now that he's mentioned that, we can segue to Kanye West. The reality is, and Tom Ross, I'm going to let you jump on this segment and say your piece on it, because Tom Ross has eloquently brought it up. Kim Kardashian looks nothing like fucking Chaney.
Nothing. Not any version of Kim Kardashian. Not the old version. You know what I mean? Not the 6-year-old version, and not this version. All the versions of her face, none of them look like this girl, man. This girl, you can look at her. You can tell she actually has black blood.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and when you look at her ancestry, she has black blood. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference. Kim Kardashian made herself have black features through fucking surgery, thicker lips, high cheekbones. She did that. This girl has that. She's born with that. They're not the same. And for black people to be saying that shit, lets me know they're so easily fucking controlled by the media. They so easily controlled by the media, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, a lot of people, some people just in the chat just need to be blocked at the end of the day. They add nothing to the conversation. It's just trolling. You know what I'm saying? But as far as Kanye's concerned, they're just hating on her because they need Kim Kardashian to remain. They like for Jafar from Atlanta. Oh man.
Yeah, you went in with that
one. Before Kim Kardashian, they want Kim Kardashian to remain the it girl because it forces. There's a market with Kim Kardashian.
Yep.
There's a plastic surgery market, and let's be honest, all these black women doing that shit because they following after a white woman. They following after Kim.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
The market for Kim is the reason why they want to keep Kim popular and famous is because Kim has made people forget that she's the one that's copying black women. She's kept them. She's pulled it to where it's like it looks like it's the opposite. That they're following Kim, and in actuality, that's what they're doing and keeping her relevant. If black women were smart and weren't stuck on stupid, they have the power to end Kim Kardashian's popularity right now. Easy. All they got to do is just get behind Chaney Jones.
That's it.
But they're not even smart enough to do that.
The hatred for a black man keep them from doing it. The hatred for a black man is so strong that black women side with anybody against a black man.
Yep.
Anybody.
And it just shows you they want to stay artificial. Because that's why I did that video with the one sunshine on me. This was a black woman that clearly you could tell had a shape. But she looks like Kim Kardashian, diaper booty, fake ass. And she had to grow that fake ass. So I think the reason why Kim Kardashian is relevant is because these black women could stay artificializing their bodies by keeping Kim relevant. Because the lack of Kim relevancy, now all of these surgeries and all of this boxing,
they're gonna look even more
stupid. They're gonna have to remove it.
They're gonna look even more stupid.
Yep.
Walking around looking like a fucking ant.
Yep. And then now they're gonna have to remove wherever the fuck they did in the first place. Because
you can't remove it. That's the thing. Certain shit you do to your body, you can't change.
Yep.
It's that. You know what I mean?
That's true.
You can't change it.
That's true.
They look dumb as fuck. You remove the shit that's supposed to be in there and you put some silicone in there. And now if you take that out, it's just gonna be hollow.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, it's a lot of hatred towards Kanye. But the thing about Kanye is he's always ahead. So by the time people catch up, they'll be like, "Oh, that was a genius move that he did. Oh, that was so genius what he did. Like he left Kim, and he totally dismantled them and blah." Yeah, but at the time, we just followed the media. The media say, "No, Kanye's would have looked like black people. Kanye's would have looked like." You look at these. They were saying Julia Fox was look like Kim Kardashian. And she don't look nothing. Julia Fox is like an Italian woman in the face. Kim Kardashian got her own look that she created. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
If you ask me, she was trying to make herself like Beyonce.
Yep.
As much as possible.
Yep. And the funny thing about it is Kim Kardashian because she was trying to look like Beyonce, it was looking like Beyonce gone wrong. Now she's unidentifiable. She wasn't all that before, and she's even worse now. I mean, she just looks completely like trash. She looks like basically a ghetto garbage version of Courtney.
Exactly.
Courtney's prettier than her, and Courtney don't even get the credit that she truly deserves for that. That's fucking crazy to me.
Because Courtney's a black sheep of the family. When you pay attention to the family and you see clips on YouTube of the show, Courtney be the only one saying real shit.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of them be saying goofy ass, nut ass shit. Courtney be the only one saying like, man, the reason why I just feed your kid that because your kid can't sit up all day and eat cotton candy. Yep. I gave her just a little bit. Yeah, but then they're arguing with her because she did something healthy for her nephews and nieces and shit. So I was like, man, I can't. I was like, I see why I don't watch this shit. I can't watch no shit like this.
Yep.
To me, that's mindless shit.
And you know what else is funny as fuck? The brother, notice he's disappeared off the face of the planet. As soon as he's grown up in maturity, he kind of separated himself from the family, and he stopped being around all this estrogen. He's man the fuck up.
Yeah. Cause they toxic.
Mm-hmm.
They toxic as fuck. You know what I mean? We got to fuck from around them.
Yep.
Ain't nothing good about that family. The best that's why I keep saying the best thing that could have happened to Kanye is just divorce, man.
Mm-hmm.
Cause it's I'm on the mindset that they were trying to get him to a place to where they could make a conservatory over him and control everything and spend his money how they want to.
Yep.
That's what all this is about. Using his kids against him, all this shit. They trying to make a conservatory over him, make it seem like he can't run his own shit so they could come in and they could do it. But that nigga, I think he saw through that shit. He saw through that shit, man.
Yeah, he woke up, saw through the shit, and basically was like, you know what? 4 kids later, it is what it is.
He moved away from her.
I'm a co-parent with your ass because I saw him at his son's soccer game with her the other day. I'm a co-parent with these fucking kids, but I ain't dealing with your ass. That's why his ass went to Wisconsin. I ain't dealing with your ass.
People that the divorce, Kim, like, yeah, man, you gotta understand one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Kanye, even though he ain't fuck with her like that, that's still the mother of his kids. So he let her get the save face that said she did it. But really, it was who came to Wyoming crying, talking about please come back home with me. It was her. That was the divorce right there. All this shit is a formality.
Yeah,
it's a formality. The divorce is when he said, "Man, I bought this house for $50 million. I don't even want to stay here with your ass. This shit is for the bird. I'm finna move all the way to Wyoming to be away from you." That's the divorce right there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I'm glad he did that shit because to understand one thing, I don't give a fuck what his desires, his dreams is. You, his wife, supposed to support him, man.
Yep.
You sitting here talking about a offshoot of Yeezys want to give you a job to market their shoe that looks just like your husband's shoe. Like, why you even talking to those people?
Yep. Kanye could use that against her too.
You know what I'm saying?
Basically take money away from her in the divorce settlement because now she's basically taking money away from the family's overall mouth by supporting an opposer as opposed to opposing.
Well, she didn't do it. She didn't do it. This is when they was married. She didn't do it because she didn't do it, but she had to talk to him about it. Because he didn't do it, he gave her a percentage of his company because for the money that she would have lost, she lost out on. But if you ask me, I think that was one of the keys when he started realizing, oh man, this family's so fucked up. They don't care. There is no principle about how they get money.
Mm-hmm.
They just think it's a bag. They don't realize it's a principle. You can't work with the competitor. And not even a real competitor. It's not like it's Nike. You're working with somebody who just created a shoe like mine's.
Yep.
and it's a knockoff.
Yep.
You can't even consider that.
That has Kris Jenner all over it.
Yeah, you can't even consider that. That's the thing. You got to get the fuck away from that bill.
That's Kris Jenner all over it, trying to tell Kim this is what you need to do. Again, masculine energy to try to control Kanye West. This is what you need to do so you can try to control him.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds like Kris Jenner all over it. I mean, she's with a black guy that's literally a yes man, right? So, you know, I mean that's the way the family rolls. They love black. Black don't crack, and I think OJ.
They only want them. They only want them to procreate with them in the fuck. They don't. Yep. So you don't have no real opinion. You know what I mean?
Yep. And I do believe OJ Simpson is right, because OJ Simpson is saying that what's the other one? The ugliest one?
Courtney?
Not Courtney.
Not Courtney.
Khloe Kardashian is his daughter. There's been a lot of speculation and a lot of, when you look at Khloe Kardashian, she does look a lot different than the other two sisters. Mm-hmm. OJ Simpson has said plenty of times that they say he's an old senile black man. He's in, you know, he was in jail. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But for years, he said that Khloe Kardashian is his daughter. What's your take on that, man?
They definitely don't have the same fathers. Just like there's a difference between Khloe, just like a difference between Courtney and Kim, and it is the other daughters, because they got different dads. Same thing with Khloe. She don't have the same father as Kim and them.
Yep.
Yeah, their mother. Yeah,
their mother been around.
Yeah, they was raised by a thought, so
it
is what it is, man.
Yep, a masculine energy thought.
It is what it is, man. It was raised by manipulative, sexually deviant. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's so manipulative that you fucked your husband's mind up so much he wanted to become a woman. She has so much masculine energy that this nigga had to become feminine just to coexist with her.
Damn.
That's what niggas not understanding.
Now, and you know what? I forgot about that motherfucker too.
That dude was a motherfucking Olympian champion.
Yep.
The alphas of the alphas got broken down mentally. You know what I mean? That's the thing. And then, so when you have black people so gung-ho to protect Kim Kardashian over Kanye, it just lets you know we'll do anything the media tell us to do.
Yep.
Anything. There's no code with us.
Yep.
We'll say and do anything they tell us to do. There's no code. Since when Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson, like nobody even knew who the fuck he was this time last year.
Yep.
Since when these people are national treasures in the black community? You know what I mean? Since
Great
when?
Fucking point.
Like shit, crazy.
That's right. That's how you got the Jenner sisters. You got them through that dude. I completely forgot about that dude because she's been fucking around and she's been deviant with so many motherfuckers. I forgot about that situation. I'm glad Ross brought that shit up, man. Mm-hmm. But you know, the bottom line is Kanye West. Glad that he's out of that situation, man, because now he can focus on being himself. He can focus on his record label. He can focus on the new opportunities that's in front of him. And if you've paid attention and really watched the forecast of it, Kim Kardashian, because of the lack of Kanye West, is dressing horribly. She's making bad missteps. And she's become basically what she was before Kanye West. She's a reality TV star all over again. That's what I'm seeing. It's the same shit.
That's it.
Like, I'm not seeing nothing special. I'm not seeing power moves. I'm just seeing, you know, regular basic shit all over again. And then basically gossiping, you know, and talking about her sexcapade with Pete Davidson. Who gives a fuck, man? That should stay between you and him. Do you really have to bring that up?
Well, that's just her trying to just bait Kanye West into shit. But man, at the end of the day, once a nigga once he get used to being without you, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
He get used to being without you. He finds somebody who brings peace into his life. It's a wrap. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. When was people didn't think about this shit? Like how he was out and about with Julia Fox and these other ones. When was the last time you had seen him like that with Kim? That means he wasn't happy with Kim for a long time.
Yep.
When the
And
last
Kim
time
even alluded to it. She said they haven't had sex in a very long time.
Yeah.
So saying that, when a woman says that, that tells you everything you need to fucking know.
Yeah. And that was his doing. He the one that moved.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Because 9 times out of 10, all she would probably do is just want to just keep getting pregnant, having more children, because she see her children as money.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And she used the fact that most men want a big family. But little did he know, she's trying to make another keeping up with the Kardashians with her own kids.
Yep. That's true.
That's the thing. That's what Kanye like, man, what the fuck, bro? Like, I never wanted that for my children, but you steady doing it. Putting her on TikTok, trying to build her name up. Yep. That girl should not have no TikTok, man. She shouldn't have no TikTok. First of all, your father is one of the most famous people to ever walk this face of the earth, which means when you're famous like that, you have people who hate you, have people who will say something mean to his kid just to be doing it. It's something about how fame affects a regular person. Some people they can't look at celebrities as just celebrities. You got people who hate celebrities.
Yep.
Like literally, they got channels on every time a celebrity do something like, he deserved that. I'm glad his sister died. Like talking cash money shit about celebrities just because they have things that you don't have.
Yep.
Then you got people who put celebrities on a pedestal and they can do no wrong either.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like they don't even question it. You know what I mean? It's like, so yeah, no kid should be exposed to that. They just shouldn't, man.
That's true. You hit it on the thumb and the needle, man. So any closing thoughts on what you got to say, dog?
Nah, man, we done said it all, man. This was another great live, man. Thank everybody that came and actually donated. The more you guys donate, the more we'll go live. The less you donate, the less we'll go live because we got shit to do. Like in the morning, we get up, it's back to it. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And this is a hobby, so it's taking out our time. So you know what I mean? Like I said, I know you guys work hard for your money, but at the same time, it takes a lot of time and effort to do these lives and shit too. So
yep. I'm glad you said that, Ross, because they need to understand that. And if I'm tallying up the numbers, 25, 30, man, we got $31. Yeah, $36 that was donated on this live. Y'all got to come better, man. Y'all missed the mark. Y'all missed the fucking mark by 64, man. Remember, the minimum donation's got to be $100 for us to even be considering this shit. So those that donated, we appreciate y'all. But all of these motherfuckers that's listening, donate to fucking motivate. It's really that simple. Y'all have a great Sunday. Y'all take care. Don't do anything too crazy. Peace.
Peace, bro.